All right, we are live finally on YouTube and Instagram, same time. So let's hope this works out great. You might also be wondering why I'm in a Leafs jersey. Well, I was just doing my 2024 prediction video that's going to come out on YouTube on January the 1st. And I'll just give you a little bit of a tidbit. I don't really think it's the Leafs year this year, but you know what? Maybe I'll give it some reverse jinx, I guess, and they'll go on a run, because if they do well, the city's thriving and it's always super exciting. And I don't know, I could wear this Potvin jersey any time of the week. So, okay, let's jump right into it. So 3 questions that came in this week. Is it a good time for a tenant to move up to a purchase? Yeah, really good question. I think that the timing, obviously, as I always say, the timing depends on your own situation, but one question that I have been coming up, especially those who maybe rented a property through me a couple of years ago, and now they've been in the same property for 2, maybe 3 years, and they're saying, okay, well, I'm currently in a 1-bedroom, thinking of getting into either another 1-bedroom, maybe a different building, or thinking of going into a 2-bedroom condo. Now, if they did rent in 2021 or 2022, even at the start of 2022, let's use 2021 as an example, like a 2-year example. Basically, if they rented in 2021 and their rent price for a 1-bedroom was about $2,100 a month or $2,000 a month, that new 1-bedroom now in today's market would probably be somewhere around $2,500 to $2,700 a month. So you're looking at about a $500 to $700 a month increase. Now, is $2,700 a month enough to carry a mortgage? It might be, depending on the down payment, of course. But if they are considering making a jump to a 2-bedroom property, that number might look something more like $3,500 a month on the rental side. Now we're starting to get into maybe mortgage territory, and this is obviously a case-by-case basis, but it might be worth having the conversation on what exactly is out there in the market, and if you have been considering making that jump from being either a tenant to a first-time buyer, this might be a pretty good market to at least have the conversation in, because we are seeing a lot of properties on the market currently that are maybe investor owned, that have been sitting for some time, and we're in buyer's market territory, especially when it comes to condos in downtown Toronto. So something to consider, and at least maybe worth having the conversation about, just to see what that looks like and what the options are. And I would encourage you to look at the options on both the rental side and on the purchase side, because we are seeing pricing now on the purchase side that we haven't seen in a little bit of time, maybe almost 2 years. So it might be worth having the conversation and seeing if that time is right for you. It's always case-by-case basis. Number 2, renewal coming up. Is it time to upgrade the property? Yeah, I feel like this is a conversation that we might be hearing a little bit more and more this year. So if someone purchased 5 years ago, I can use myself as an example. I purchased my property in 2019, and the renewal is coming up this year in April of 2019. So now that I'm receiving those renewal letters and seeing what the new mortgage rate is, it's definitely got me thinking on, is it worth it to sell now and use the appreciation that I've had from the last 5 years to make another move, or do I stay where I am and take the renewal and continue? So this is another, obviously, case-by-case basis, but might be worth having the conversation of seeing what could that renewal look like. And I will be creating a video on YouTube in the coming weeks of how to kind of get a ballpark calculation, of course, using an online calculator. I always recommend speaking directly to a mortgage broker or specialist to get accurate numbers, because the online calculators are just ballpark. Always keep that in mind. But if you are looking to go from maybe a condo to a detached or freehold property, a semi-detached, it might be worth exploring that as well, because from the peak, you might not be able to get the same amount that you could have got back at peak pricing. But same thing goes for the property you're looking to get into. That would also not be at peak pricing typically. So if you're looking at for argument's sake, if we use 10%, because that's easy math, if a condo's worth, let's say, $800 at the peak, and now it's worth $80,000 less, maybe the detached property or freehold property was 1.2, and now that's $120,000 less. So your delta is actually ahead if you are making that move. Just something to consider. Again, knowing your numbers is super important, and running what those calculations are going to look like. Super, super important, especially moving forward. And I can definitely help you with that, or at least point you in the right direction to get some answers so you at least know what's coming and what that mortgage is going to look like. Tell me more about this loft. Yeah, the last couple of days I've been posting about this incredible loft at 90 Sumach Street. It's listed by Erica Reddy from my office. It's a beautiful, beautiful property. Easily one of the coolest lofts I have ever seen here in the city of Toronto. It's massive, over 2,300 square feet. Amazing windows. You also have a balcony, which is not always common. It's the old CBC building, so they used to film a lot of stuff there. And in general, the price per square foot is quite good. That being said, the unit sizes are massive. So even though the price per square foot is better than most properties in the area, your entry level on that building is quite high because the units are quite big. And that loft in particular, concrete floors, you have sub-zero fridge, insane wine fridge, and all the finishes like top notch. So anyway, hope that answered your live Q&A. Hope everyone has a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, if this is what you celebrate, and enjoy the rest of the year, the rest of the holiday season, and Happy New Year. I will be doing a live Q&A next week as well, and get those questions in because happy to answer them. And also pretty cool to now finally be able to broadcast on both YouTube, Instagram, same time. I guess Facebook, I should add that too. So still a work in progress. Keep continuing to grow for 2024. Have a great holiday.